I want to grant more power to the intelligence community, more power to the government that is releasing terrorists as we speak onto the streets of Texas. It defies any kind of logic.
The Crenshaw Amendment would expand FISA's definition of foreign intelligence to encompass international drug crimes. FISA is a counterintelligence and counterterrorism tool. Its limitation to that purpose and the clear distinction between foreign intelligence and crime are essential to preserving fundamental liberties of Americans under our constitutional system. It is the essential design of the law, spying abroad, criminal justice at home. Simply redefining foreign intelligence to include ordinary crime eviscerates the entire distinction on which the design of the FISA law rests. And the Intelligence Committee proponents of this amendment fail even to explain to us why this blurred definition is needed. They assert it, but they don't explain it. After all, the DNI's FISA Section 702 fact sheet lists the government's use of Section 702 to learn about our adversaries' plans to smuggle fentanyl into the United States as the #1 successful use of existing Section 702. If Section 702 already allows us to go after fentanyl, why do we need to change and blur the critical definition of foreign intelligence? What is the purpose of doing so? What comes next? I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman has the only time remaining.
To the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Roy.
Gentleman from Texas is recognized for 1 minute.
I thank the gentleman from North Carolina, and I would just note that I certainly appreciate the intent of my friend and colleague from Texas. Obviously, we want to go after cartels. We want to make sure we can stop the flow of fentanyl into our communities that are killing and ravaging Texans and Americans across our country. The problem here is it's unnecessary. They can go certify right now. They can go right now and go certify a whole other class. You don't need this law to do that. That's the important part. You don't need this amendment, and you don't need to risk expanding it. But here's my real problem. Just today, we have information where we had a terrorist on an Afghan watch list who was released into San Antonio, Texas. ICE just walked away from it, and now we have somebody on the terrorist watch list sitting in San Antonio, Texas. So I'm supposed to say I want to grant more power to the intelligence community, more power to the government that is releasing terrorists as we speak onto the streets of Texas. It defies any kind of logic. They have the tools to do what they need to go after fentanyl without expanding FISA, which is being abused against Americans. And by the way, you need the warrant requirement in order to protect against expansion of FISA.